सो हेलो एवरीवन। हमने प्रीवियस वीडियो में देखा था कि पाइथन के थ्री टाइप्स ऑफ फंक्शंस, दैट इज़ बिल्ट इन फंक्शन, मॉड्यूल फंक्शन और यूज़र डिफाइंड फंक्शन। तो आज हम सीखेंगे कि हम अपना फंक्शन कैसे क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, लाइक हाउ कैन वी मेक आवर ओन यूज़र डिफाइंड फंक्शंस। तो उससे पहले हम प्रॉब्लम में आते हैं। हमें यूज़र डिफाइंड फंक्शन की ज़रूरत क्यों पड़ी? ओके, लाइक सपोज आई वांट टू प्रिंट वेलकम टू माय चैनल। ओके, मुझे ये मैसेज हर बार जब मेरा प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट होता है तब प्रिंट करना है। सो लाइक आई हैव टू प्रिंट दिस मैसेज एवरी टाइम माई प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट्स। तो मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि मैं इसे कॉपी एंड पेस्ट कर दूँ, कॉपी करके पेस्ट कर दूँ सब जगह। क्या मुझे ऐसा करना चाहिए? नहीं, नहीं करना चाहिए। कॉपी एंड पेस्ट शुड नॉट बी डन हियर। क्यों? अगर if tomorrow I want to change welcome to my channel to welcome to Python, then I have to modify it everywhere. So suppose मुझे ये मैसेज प्रिंट करना है हर बार जब मेरा प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट होता है, और मैं सोच रहा हूँ ओके तो फिर मैं इसको कॉपी पेस्ट कर देता हूँ हर जगह। नाउ सपोज मैंने आज सोचा कि नहीं, मुझको वेलकम टू माय चैनल की जगह वेलकम टू पाइथन लिखना है। तो मैं अब इसको मॉडिफाई करने बैठा हूँ और हर जगह जहाँ पर वेलकम टू माय चैनल लिखा हुआ है तो मैं उसको मॉडिफाई करके वेलकम टू पाइथन करता जा रहा हूँ। सो इट इज़ टाइम वेस्ट एंड वेरी इनएफिशिएंट एंड आई एम रिपीटिंग रिपीटिंग कोड। सो टू रिड्यूस दिस वी विल define our user defined function. So user defined function, हमने पिछले वीडियो में ही देखा था कि पाइथन ऑलरेडी gives us many problems, many functions. Okay, हमने देखा था जैसे प्रिंट हो गया आपका, लेन हो गया, ऐसे कुछ फंक्शंस थे जो हम यूज़ करते हैं। बट समटाइम्स हमारे रिक्वायरमेंट और हमारा प्रॉब्लम यूनिक होता है। Our problem is unique, और Python does not know about that. Python को तो उसके बारे में कुछ नहीं पता। ओके, तो सपोज एग्जांपल हमको कैलकुलेट परसेंटेज निकालना है और मार्क्स डिस्प्ले करना है और रिपोर्ट का जनरेट करना है। इसके बारे में तो पाइथन को कुछ नहीं पड़ता, तो हमको खुद का फंक्शन क्रिएट करना पड़ेगा. सो वी क्रिएट आवर ओन फंक्शन. And these functions are called the user defined function. Okay, that is the main thing about the user defined function. That is, Python already gives us some function, but sometimes the problem is too unique, so we need to define our own function to solve those problems. Okay, so let's write the definition of user defined function. That is, a user defined function is a function created by programmer to perform a specific task. कोई स्पेसिफिक टास्क परफॉर्म करने के लिए हम खुद का फंक्शन लिखते हैं. तो लेट्स राइट आवर फर्स्ट फंक्शन. लेट्स क्रिएट आवर फर्स्ट फंक्शन. ओके, सपोज डेफ. हमने इसके सिंटैक्स के बारे में इंट्रोडक्शन में फर्स्ट लेक्चर में डिस्कस किया था. सो डेफ greet print hello. So as you know, this is the function name. This is the keyword and this is the function body. मैं आपसे पूछता हूँ, क्या इन दिस स्टेट द फंक्शन विल प्रिंट एनीथिंग? लाइक क्या हेलो प्रिंट होगा? क्या मुझे टर्मिनल में हेलो प्रिंट दिखेगा? नहीं दिखेगा. क्यों नहीं दिखेगा? बिकॉज वी हैव ओनली क्रिएटेड the function. Okay, we have not called it. Remember, every time if a function is defined, if it is not called, it will not do anything. Simple as that. अगर आपने फंक्शन डिफाइन किया है और क्रिएट किया है, आपको उसे कॉल करना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो वो कुछ नहीं करेगा. It will just sit there. So how to call a function? The call, like to call a function, you just write the function name, that is greet, suppose here, followed by the parenthesis. And if you want to pass some argument and if the function accepts that argument, you can pass some argument, but we will discuss in detail about the parameter and argument passing in the next lecture. So for now, at least just remember that you call the function like in this way, function name followed by the parenthesis. Okay, so greet, we are calling this function greet. Without calling the function will not execute. Okay, now let's look at understand about the function syntax a little bit more. Function syntax. Okay, so def, we have greet, print hello. Okay, so def is a Python keyword. Okay, it is used to define function. We have already learned about it. Like other keywords include if, elif, then your for, dot dot dot. These are the keywords used in Python. Okay, mainly it is a reserved word. Python reserves some word, those are called keywords. Like you can't make a variable name if, you can't make a variable name def. Okay, those are reserved by Python. Okay, then greet. What is greet? Greet is the function name used to identify the function. During calling, which function are you calling? We are during calling we are doing what? The function name followed by the parenthesis. This function name act as a identifier to identify the function that we are calling. So that's why used to identify the function name. Make sure, like let me give you an example. Suppose there is def greet. Okay, it does something, then you again create def greet. It will not work. This will not work because the function already exists. Like if you have already created a function with, you cannot create another function with the same name. Okay, and it is also not a good practice. The function's name should be meaningful. Function name should be meaningful. Like calculate marks. Just looking at the name, you know that this function will calculate the marks. Display result. आप देखते ही पता कर सकते हो कि ये फंक्शन डिस्प्ले करेगा रिजल्ट, बच्चों के रिजल्ट को. अच्छा, दिस सपोज दिस फंक्शन नेम ABC XYZ टेस्ट. इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब क्या है? कुछ मतलब ही नहीं बन रहा है. अगर मैं in one look, if I saw the function name, I will not be able to identify what is this function doing. I have to then check up the implementation of the function. So this is a bad name. We should not use such name. Okay, we should use meaningful names. Okay, now comes the important part, that is this parenthesis. It is currently empty. Yeah, it is currently empty. This contains parameters. Okay, this contains parameters. Don't worry, we will study in detailed way about parameters, arguments and types of parameters in the next lecture. So right now just understand this parenthesis contains parameters, and parameters can be said as a placeholder of the data. Just remember that for this lecture. Okay, now there is also a thing called colon. This colon is nothing more that it tells Python that the function body starts here. Function body starts here. Okay, this tells Python that function body starts here. Now another important thing, that is indentation. If you mess this up, your Python code will not get executed. Okay, it is called a point. It is called the spaces. Like let me tell you, def great. Okay, normally what a person will do, he will start with here, suppose print name, print hello, suppose, but this will not execute. Like, this is wrong, because the function body there is the function body should be indented in a way that, like, def great then print hello. Now can you see that there is a little bit of space I left? This one, this is called the indentation. Why we are using indentation? Python uses indentation to identify which statement belongs to the function. Okay, everything inside the indentation or the spaces, everything inside these indentations, inside the indentation belongs to the function body, belongs to the function body. This is very important, otherwise your code will sometimes give undefined behavior if you don't match these indentation levels. Okay, you have to match the indentation level when you are writing the code in the IDE or VS Code. Okay, now okay, suppose, let me give you another example. Def greet print Antar print hello. This is the indentation. Okay, this arrow denotes the indentation. Now this print Antar belongs to greet, but this one does not. This is a normal statement. This does not belong to greet. It is called top level statement. You can say it is a top level statement. Top level statement. It does not belong to any function. Okay, because you can see I have defined this like this def and this print. Let me make it a little bit like this so it will be easy to understand, like this. As you can see, def and print matches the indentation level, and this print has a indentation, so this belongs to this greet function. But because the indentation level of def and this print hello is same, the greet function does not treat print hello as its function body. Okay, so you just need to understand this. Same thing with if suppose if statement, if suppose we have x equal to 10, okay, x greater than 20, then we do something like print greater, else print smaller. As you can see, the same indentation is working here also. Like when we are giving the indentation, this means that this print is belonging to this if block, and when we are giving the indentation here, and this print is belonging to this else block, and when we are using colon, it tells the Python that this if blocks start from this after this colon, and same for this else block. And if we write like print hello, this will because this print matches the indentation level of else and if, it will be just a top level statement. It does not belong to if or else. I think this is clear, and you need to know only this much only about the indentation level. I guess this will be enough for okay. So now calling the function. Okay, we have already seen how we call the function, but let's look at it in a detail. Okay, calling the function. Okay, so we have a function, our plain old greet function. We just print hello. Okay, so we are calling this function greet. Okay, so this will print hello. Okay, can you call it another time, like another? Yeah, I can call it how much time I want, like indefinite time. I can call it 100 time, I can call it 1000 time, I can call it millions of time. So this here means you can see code reusability comes into the picture, because you don't have to write this print hello every time. You just calling a function greet every time, which prints the value. Now this one looks trivial because we are just printing, but when suppose inside this greet function you have 100 lines of code, then suppose you have to call this greet function 100 of times, so 100 into 100 lines of code. Can you imagine how will the complexity rise? So that's why we use functions, because it promotes code reusability, code organization, better readability, and easier debugging. Okay, okay, suppose we have created a function called greet. We can also create a function like def thank you, and underscore is allowed. Okay, in the function name underscore is allowed. You can, it is called snake case. Okay, snake case in the sense that like student underscore name. Okay, student underscore age. This is called snake case. There is also another thing, Pascal case, kebab case, and there are many type of case. So we generally use snake case in Python. Okay, so def thank you, we can suppose print thank you. Okay, now I can call greet also, I can call thank you also, I can call this also multiple times, I can call this also multiple times. So I can define multiple functions, I can call them also multiple times. Okay, okay, another common mistakes that you can do, that is common mistakes that may happen, that is one, no indentation. Very common, this common mistake, that is def greet. Okay, you just print it here, no indentation at all. Okay, this will give indentation error, and another common mistake, that is forget to call the function. You have defined the function well and good, but you have forgot the call the function, and you are looking why my function is not executing. So always call the function. Otherwise, if you don't need to call the function, then why are we creating it? Okay, if I don't need to call the function, it makes no sense that I am creating a function, no? So this will do nothing unless we call greet. Okay. These are the two common mistakes. One is indentation and forgot to call the function. Okay. So guys, today we learned what is a user defined function, how to create a function, function syntax, function's body, indentation, and calling a function. In the next lecture, we will learn about one of the most important topic, that is the parameters and arguments. It is a very confusing topics for students, so we will go in very much detail and we will understand it very slowly. So yeah, that's it for today. We will see you in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.